Why, hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more match play commentary for y'all. The next couple of days, you are stuck with little old me. The bald man with the plan will join me back on the channel soon enough. For the next couple of days, I'm riding it solo, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. We've got some matches from Sully's Abode for y'all. Sully's is the local card shop we go to every Thursday for Digimon, started at about 6:30 p.m., located in Bolingbrook, Illinois. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, want to check us out or check the shop out, feel free to swing on by. I will drop their store link down in the video description below, along with our socials, which is the best place to find the deck list of our players. So if you're interested in seeing what our players are running, do feel free to hit us up there and we will be sure to point you in the right direction. But speaking of our players, today on the left, we've got Ari playing Magneticdramon going up against Jorel, who is back on the Eaters train. Both decks are pretty solid in their own right. You know, I think now that we are out of competitive season up until we have Card Fest in February, I think it's going to be nice to see, and we've talked about it on the channel too before, about how a lot of these sort of quote-unquote like tier 1.5, tier 2 decks I think are going to be coming a lot more prevalent. It's going to be fun to see the game have a little bit more variety. So our locals is definitely going to be trying to spice things up a little bit. This week we've got a couple of spicy rounds that be sure to be tuned in for, as I think they're going to be fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. But I will stop yapping, only to do what we do best here, is yap. So let us go hop right into the round. So Jorel starts off with the Eater play. Typical, just drop the sushi roll for 3. And then we see Ari start setting up. He's got the go-to. We drop an emblem to go ahead and play a 4-drop close, which is pretty solid turn 1, and then you drop a Sunarizamon. Jorel will go ahead and do a check. Little sushi gets tucked in after hitting a big old Pyramidimon, and then go ahead, drop another Eater sushi, and then we drop another sushi roll. So Pyramidi, interestingly enough, I feel like does have some decent ways to deal with Eaters, because your inheritables allow you to pop play costs and not level. I think that's the one saving grace of the like deletion effects that it has compared to other decks, which kind of use their DP deletion off of like levels, right? So having a play cost deletion is always very, very solid going into Eaters. And here we see Ari go ahead and on Evo strip the tumble to gain a memory. Go-to will go ahead and swing, forcing Jorel to make a decision if he wants to block or not. We'll block, so we'll go ahead and get slurped up under the Mother Eater. And where do we go here? Do we go into a level 5? Looks like we will go into Purgano. Purgano effect, we'll go ahead and suspend close. Yeah, I would definitely tuck the tumble there. We tuck another Sunariza. Go ahead and strip to gain the memory back. Now can proc the close effect if he so chooses, since it closed to suspend, but we'll opt to just swing here, trashing 2 sources, gaining more DP, and Jorel will go ahead and slurp up. Ooh, okay. So check does go through since it does have piercing. So that is one thing you see, like deletion, right? So the check does go through. Does hit a Hootie Net Cafe. And we call it a day by dropping a training. All right. So Jorel, I think, needs to start doing something here, because as soon as Ari can climb up into a boss monster like level 6, such as even Pyramidi or Magnetic, you kind of are in a bad spot. We do see the Eater Eating come out, which is a very, very good removal option for Eaters here. Being able to bounce a 6 cost to bottom of the deck at base, and then for every source add 1. So being able to at times just bot deck like a 10 cost or 10 play cost Digimon is always very, very solid. And then on removal, you get to play out another body, which is, again, really good for just keeping tempo and getting a board state going. And then here we have Ari go into the Landro to go ahead and play out another close. And then end of turn, Eater Eden will go ahead and force Ari to delete his lowest play cost Digimon, and Jorel just Jesus Christ, just sets up a wall of little sushi rolls there. So Ari's got to do something here. Otherwise, he's gonna be looking at a pretty rough spot. Problem is, you do have the errata, which will redirect 1. You've got 3 blockers, which I don't think you're gonna be able to truly just deal with out the rip here. But like I said, he's got to do something. He does have the training and the emblem to work with, which could be a solid play. Could be a solid play, but it's going to be very, very tough. Because Jorel did the Eater thing. And Eater Eden, I think, honestly, is really, really good for the deck. Having that really solid removal piece is really, really good. But we do see Ari go ahead and do the Warp Evo from Purgano by tucking and then stripping to gain the memory back. Suspend the close to go ahead and tuck additional sources underneath. And then we go into a magnetic here. Reduce cost of 3. On Evo, magnetic will go ahead and strip 3, which will then allow him to gain memory back. We'll pop the lowest play cost. Trash top security, which is another I think that's okay. And we'll go ahead and swing, strip, choosing if he wants to redirect here or not. We'll go ahead and redirect, and on removal we'll go ahead and play out another sushi. Oh, okay. So we are dealing with the board pretty handedly here, which is, I mean, the magnetic effect of being able to just do that multiple times is wild. It's still very, very, very strong. And we will drop another emblem to play out a Sunariza. Sunariza will allow Ari to search, picking up a Perganamon. Go ahead and bot deck the Zophyr. And yeah, we pass over memory at 3 because Arata is a setter. Jorel will go ahead and do the Eater play, which will play out the Mother Eaters. We'll go ahead and pop both bodies. No Akemi to give rush, but being able to deal with the board, no scrambles live, is putting Jorel in a very, very good position because he can do exactly this, right? Which is get rid of the board, set up his sushi army, and we'll go ahead and play the Net Cafe. We do get an Akemi off of that, so can potentially swing 1. And we'll choose to do so here with Alliance. Will be 2 checks. That could be scary. We do hit an emblem there, which will go ahead and play out a Sunariza from trash, and then go ahead and search, and then that might just have given Ari a means to come back. Who knows? That's what I was a little worried about. I was like, if he swings here, that could be a little scary. But we do have ways to deal with it. We dropped that Eater bid to then pop the Sunariza. So that was the out that Jorel was able to see. And just like that, I mean, Ari's got 8 bodies to deal with. Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we say this all the time on the channel when Jorel plays Eaters. It's like, the man has piloted this deck so much and so well that I think he's probably one of the best Eaters players out there. And it's truly like crazy to see him do what he does with this deck. But we see Ari trying to scrape by here. We go ahead and strip Landro, which will go ahead activating the close effect to tuck. Then we'll activate 1 emblem to reduce cost of 3. Going into a Purgano. Purgano effect will go ahead and strip to take away the Eater bit. We'll go ahead and suspend close once again to load, I would assume, 2 tumbles here. Yep, to go ahead and keep turn potentially. We see the suspension of the second close, so we could, in theory, pop the emblem here, I believe. We're just debating what we want to do. We're looking at the Blast and the Pyramidi. We'll go into a Pyramidi here. So this will be for free. Pyramidi will be able to... Yeah, we'll be able to reduce the play cost and potentially pop something. But unfortunately, the magnetic was really the play to kind of really deal damage and deal with the board state as we saw previously, right? But we go ahead and go to a game 2. Yeah, I think to go back to my point about Jorel is like, I think Eaters, if it's piloted well, definitely has some hands. And against decks that aren't necessarily like tier 1 per se, I think actually can be pretty scary. Decks that ignore redirect, such as Magna X, are a very, very tough matchup for Eaters because it just says, I don't care about your redirect, I'm just going to swing anyway. Which makes it very tough for them to do their game plan. But other kind of like low to the ground or sort of mid-range decks, I think will struggle against Eaters because it's just very, very difficult to get your game plan going if you get a wall of them come out. And we see Jorel just go ahead and start turn with a sushi roll and a Hootie Net Cafe. So wasn't able to get rid of the Landro, which let's see if Ari can capitalize here. So we go into Pregano for 3. Pregano effect. We'll just whiff on that. So what can Jorel do here? We play out an Akemi off of the Hootie Net Cafe. Pretty solid. Go ahead and do a poke. Hits a training. Scary. Scary, scary. And I mean, another Eater Eden could potentially do something, but that would be very expensive. We see Eater Eve come out though, tucking a Yuko underneath, getting a memory drawing 1 off of Akemi. That'll go ahead and stun the Pregano, which is very, very good. So even if Ari were to Evo into a Magnetic here, for example, won't be able to suspend. It looks like we're just not seeing the Magnetics here. So we'll go ahead and play out a Landramon, stripping the other Landro source off of the Pregano. Go ahead and pop the Sushi Roll, which will get slurped underneath the Mother Eaters. And then we'll go ahead and, yeah, looks like we will pass here. Just a little gummed up, it looks like. Eater Eve will go ahead, swing with Raid into Pregano, which will get rid of it. They will crash, but we'll be able to spit out the Yuko once again and get a source underneath Mother Eater, which honestly is exactly what Jorel could ask for. We go Eater Legion here, which again is another really solid card. On play, if you have a Mother Eater in the breeding area, you can play up to 6 play cost total worth of cards. So that's where we see the 2 Eater Sushi Rolls come out. And I mean, we're sitting pretty on Jorel's end here. I mean, this is a very, very good board state to see from his side of things. You've got bodies that are going to be slurped in underneath. You're going to be able to rush them down. Ari is a little gummed up here, so we will play an Emblem, play out a Sunariza, do a little bit of tucking from trash, go into a Pregano. We'll go ahead and with a... Well, we'll go ahead and strip. Yeah, it makes sense to strip here. Gain the plus 3 KDP. And go ahead and pop one of the Sushi Rolls. But like I said, even then, I mean, Jorel, we've seen Jorel have tools to deal with the Pregano that's just sort of floating there. And here we see a human form come out. We'll go ahead and do a poke. Oh, that's another Emblem. Man, Jorel is hitting everything out of security right now. But once security is removed, the Eater human will be able to play out a Tamer. So we see another Akemi come out. And I think you do want to deal with Pregano here, because if you don't, you're in trouble. So yes, we do see the Eater Eden come out, which will bot deck it. But the Landro is still there, which is a little scary. And there is a go-to with trainings and 2 emblems live. So it's scary. It's scary. You definitely are forcing Ari to work his way there, as we see him debate the close to potentially bot deck, but we will choose... Uh-oh. We see an errata come out off of the go-to swing, and that's probably not what you wanted. Oh, we're swinging with Landro here, so we'll redirect that into Eater Eden, buff it up with the Yuko. That'll die too, so looks like Ari might just be stuck here, because I would assume if you had the line, like, you just go up with the Landro, but if you don't have the line, you're kind of just forced. Yeah, that's tough. That is very, very tough. I mean, we're not looking at a game situation here, but Jorel, I think, is smart enough to just get rid of that go-to. We'll go ahead and, yeah, end of turn pop off of the Eater Eden, so that go-to will be gone regardless. We'll go ahead and Alliance swing here. And a human will go ahead and check security. We'll end up dying, but we'll play out the Akemi, but then we'll Eater E for game. Oh, no. Just didn't see a 5. Had the magnetics finally, but just didn't see the 5. That's tough. That is tough. But Jorel does end up taking it here. I mean, a pretty good illustration of just, again, a well-piloted Eater stack doing the ting. So definitely don't sleep on it. It's definitely a fun deck to play too. I've put it together, and I've messed around with it a lot, and it's definitely... I think I've mentioned it on the channel before, but it's definitely given me that opportunity to have sort of like a dialogue with players again if, you know, I'm playing into a decent matchup, right? And which is what I've missed about the game a lot. And that definitely, honestly, has helped a little bit with the burnout. Ironically, is that Eaters and stuff like that has definitely helped. So definitely don't sleep on it. It's a fun deck. If you haven't put it together. It's also a pretty cheap one to put together outside of like the Tamers. So yeah, if you're looking for the list, like I said, hit us up on the Discord. It's a great place to be in general, and Jorel has definitely updated you all on his list there. So if you're looking for it, it's definitely in there somewhere. Thank you for all tuning in. As always, we appreciate every one of you, and hopefully catch you on that next video. Bye-bye.